Thank you, Mr. Chairman. And Mr. Attorney General, I want to go back to what we discussed earlier with the 2 tiers of justice. And the answers you've given us, you're very subjective in how you approach decisions. You don't seem to be rules-based in how you make these decisions. As a matter of fact, you come across as being very political in the decisions that you make. And politicizing your work is something that really offends most Tennesseans, but particularly in the way you've responded to congressional oversight investigations. The House Judiciary Committee recently requested that you turn over documents relating to the special counsel investigation of President Biden's mishandling of classified documents. But your DOJ so far has stonewalled the House request, claiming you can't turn over documents on an open matter. Now let's compare that with your decision, obviously very subjective, to fully cooperate with document request from the House January 6th committee. Your FBI had no problem at all turning over documents and information to that committee, even though they related to an open investigation. Do you see this comparison here?
We greatly respect the oversight responsibilities of the committees of the Congress. And at the same time, we have to protect our ongoing investigations. I do not believe we turned over information to the January 6th committee about ongoing
Attorney General,
investigations.
your responses you give.
This week's Common Ground segment. Joining us tonight are Wisconsin Republican Congressman Mike Gallagher and California Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna. Gentlemen, thanks for being here. You both had individual trips to Taiwan recently, and they overlapped at one point. Congressman Gallagher, how do you see China right now? The actions it's taking not only in the U.S. with the spy balloon, with Russia as well, but also on Taiwan?
I would say despite a charm offensive that they launched in Davos, really their actions show that they are increasingly aggressive and that time is not on our side. My sense is that our friends in Taiwan are doing a lot of the right things. They're increasing defense spending. They extended conscription from 4 months to a year, but we need to be moving heaven and earth to provide them with the weapons that they've purchased but we have not delivered. You know, a year ago, Russia invaded Ukraine, and unless we want to see a similar catastrophic collapse of deterrence in Asia, we need to put hard power in Xi Jinping's path before it's too late. That gives us our best chance of preserving peace, and I know that that's a goal that Ro and I share.
Is that true, Congressman?
It is a goal. I mean, a war there would be catastrophic. One thing that both Representative Gallagher and I heard from every party in Taiwan is they want the defense orders filled. They need the Harpoons. They need the Javelin missiles to have anti-ship missiles, anti-aircraft missiles to prevent a possible invasion. And even the KMT, the party that has talked most with the mainland, wants these weapons. They understand that deterrence is necessary for peace. And that's something I think that is in a bipartisan basis we can do, especially under Chair Gallagher's leadership in the China Committee.
Does takes action on Taiwan, and the U.S. has to take a more direct role there, according to both of you. How do you make that case to the American people that it's about semiconductors, essentially?
Well, everything we use has a semiconductor chip in it, whether it's a car, whether it's a refrigerator, whether it's our phones. And the irony is Morris Chang is an American. He's an expat. He wanted to build that industry here. He was at Texas Instruments for 25 years, educated at MIT and Stanford. He didn't become CEO of Texas Instruments. He left. We didn't retain him, and he built the production, the entire semiconductor industry in Taiwan. But there's no reason we can't build those chips in the United States. There's no reason we can't replenish our manufacturing in this country. And we need to become the manufacturing world power again.
For this committee, Congressman Gallagher, what are the chances you think that China moves on Taiwan?
Well, I thought the chances are increasing. I think we've entered the window of maximum danger. I think a lot will depend on what happens in Taiwan's elections in January 2024. 2024 worries me as well because we'll have our own presidential election, and obviously we'll be, fighting each other politically here at home and thus more distracted, which is all the more the reason why on the Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party, we hope to preserve some bipartisanship on this issue. We want to be standing strong in the face of CCP aggression, Democrats and Republicans. This shouldn't be a one-party issue when it comes to defending our sovereignty, defending our interests, pushing back against transnational repression from the Chinese Communist Party. We need to do that together in Congress, and that's why I'm excited to work with my colleague, Representative Ro Khanna, on the Select Committee on China.
All right, finding common ground. Congressman Gallagher, Congressman Khanna, we appreciate your time.